And here we are with one more go for the Tezzeret's Touch deck. Again, I keep these. Over time, these work out. We'll still play the Swamp first just in case we hit the Groundhawk. That is not a Groundhawk, but is also not a bad draw when we're going to poop out some artifacts here in just a second. Alright, I'll take Curvinoot. This looks like we actually built a reasonable deck. Which is just crazy, because that's not what happened. What did the Fox say? Alright, so we've got 6 mana with the Fin Hauler, which is not quite enough, but we can certainly get it going next turn. And then that Fox ain't blocking. It's attacking. Alright. It's a brave Fox. Alright, so for the Fin Hauler, I can just cast it with this, or if I'm willing to tap the Snare Thopter, I can draw a card first, but I don't really think I need to do that. Like, why not hit with it? Like, we got plenty of cards coming off of the Divination Stone. Potentially even more now. Like, I can just cast the Puzzle Knot and this, draw a card first. Have kind of free card draw if I want it, but I might just like the Aetherborn in play. They could sort of get me with a combat trick here if I attack with the Fin Hauler, but I can't really think of any that do it. Chumping kind of doesn't. Yeah, I'd rather just get down the thing that can attack the best. Alright, that worked. So didn't really see enough of their deck to make any determination about what they're up to. Black doesn't have a lot of X1s, but it does have some. This guy being one, the Poisoner being the other ones. It's not quite as flooded with them as white is, but like if they're playing black, they probably have a Poisoner or two. The artifact doesn't really tell us what they're playing, because most people will play Filigree Familiar in whatever deck they get. So I don't think we can really sideboard much here, unless we think we built the deck wrong, and I don't. So we're going to jam this one back in there. Alright, this is certainly keepable. Obviously play the Swamp first just in case we draw another, and that's the direction we want to go in. We did finally draw Tezzeret's Touch, which could be interesting, could be terrible, we'll see. Green-black, as it turns out. Kind of didn't expect that. I think I prefer the Kingpin, although there's an argument to playing this and attacking in so that I can make a 5/5, but I'm pretty nervous about that. Like, I get 1 power on the board either way. Let's make it this guy. It's a good blocker to a lot of the things they could jam on 4. The one thing that it's not particularly good against is something like Pima Outrider. But like if it's an Earther Herder, I think we all right with that. Yeah, like who cares about this guy? That just makes it a good target for the Malfunction. We got plenty of things to discard. I'd really like to hit a land drop here, so I'm kind of tempted to jam this and hit the land drop and then just discard Tezzeret's Touch. Although it is pretty cute with this, but... we want to stack these where I scry first. Right? Okay, yeah, there's the land. That's exactly what we wanted. I mean, turning this into a 5/5 next turn if they're tapped out doesn't seem crazy. Yeah, we've got to decide what to discard. Maybe it should just be the implement. Like, I don't need another artifact. I don't need to derp around withdrawing cards. I just need to deploy these cards that I have in my hand at the moment. I think they're just trying to get in one. But we'll see. They don't have enough mana for the flyer guy that we'd be worried about. All right, I'm in. Let's do it. We are attacking with a puzzle knot. Like I said, a little bit like a lightning axe. But it did its job. All right, so here we can deploy the Poisoner as well as the Puzzle Knot, which I think is fine, which means I should probably cast the Puzzle Knot first in case we hit a Swamp, which I think I'd like to. I think I'm down with Tezzeret's Touch doing what it did there. Is attacking for a 1-point life swing worth blocking for 3? Probably not. We'll get the Air Force going here in just a minute. This is going to need to be taken out, but not right this second. Just at some point in the not too distant future. That's a fair target for immediate kill, though. Oh, we can wrap up the ground so easily, like with all these Death Touch dudes. Like, again, they've got the Wombo combo coming. I think I kind of just want to play the Drake so we can start hitting for a little bit. And a Poisoner, because I believe that this is what we're going to want to daringly demolate. Like, they can take out my flyer and that would kind of suck, but we can recover from it. They're stuck on 4 mana, so this isn't a threat right this second. And I need something to start doing some damage. Yeah, you got me. But we can start drawing cards off of it, and it's not that big a deal. Yes. Again, that's a pretty easy double block without a combat trick from them. I'm just going to play out the dudes that do the things. We'll see if we can drown them in card advantage. I am scared of a Winding Constrictor. I've lost games to it, won games with it. It's a very good card. But if the game goes long, this is a bigger problem. They are running out of cards. So if I pop this and draw the Quicksmith Genius, we're a little sad, but I can get an artifact if I have to. Malfunction doesn't really do anything. I don't need to demolate anything. So let's just pop this and start chugging through. We'll do something when we have to. At 5 mana, we kind of have to think about killing this. Okay. Well, it's giving him a card if I block that, isn't it? I don't necessarily want to give them a card. Because we may have to demolition this guy and then look for another removal spell for that. Yeah, I don't quite have a way out of this yet. It's like Malfunction does not solve this problem. And I'm handing him a card anyway if I kill this or Malfunction that. This is the one deck that Malfunction is not particularly great against. Well, I suppose what's not particularly great is we don't have any pressure. I mean, I can handle this at the moment. I guess I've got to suck it up and kill this guy. They're not attacking with it. We just need like our Serpent. Something that can attack through for profit here. This looks like them wanting to get a revolt trigger, which is kind of fine by me. If they play a Lifecraft Cavalry or whatever, I kind of don't care if it's huge. I get to gain some life, and we've got a solid answer for just a big dumb thing. Like, that's not terrifying at all. And honestly, the worst target for us, for them once they hit 7, was the Filigree Familiar, because they just start gaining stupid amounts of life where we can't really close it out. So getting that off the board, I think, is just great. Not that this is even that scary, right? Like, we can just block it. Again, a 2/5, not really a problem. Problem is we haven't drawn our Gearseeker Serpent. This deck's a little light on ways to actually kill the opponent, but that's okay. We'll find some. We'll find some. I wish I had not tossed that Implement of Examination now, but here we go. That's a good target for a Malfunction if they ever go all in on it, right? But like, as it is, we can still just trade a Death Toucher for it and not really care. All right, there's an artifact that I like. Scry 1 when we play it. Finhauler looks great. Looks great. So if I'm playing that next turn, do I want to go ahead and Malfunction the other big thing? Because the Finhauler is just going to basically trade for this, which is a problem. But like, I know I'm drawing action, and we've got a mana sink on board now. So I think I'd rather just that be malfunctioned. Right now we're just playing for draw to the Serpent. Them copying a 2/3 isn't a big deal. We've got a nice good board stall, and Serpent's fantastic at breaking that. We can even get a scry in next turn too if I've counted my mana correctly. Like Aether Sweeper's even okay on this board state. Attack for 1, make a dude scry. Sure. You made it 2/2. Like, we'll need to be careful about playing anything they could actually use, like a Metal Spinner's Puzzle Knot. We don't actually have one, so it's not a huge deal, but it could matter. I don't know why they didn't just make a 2/3, but I guess it's a little safer for them to copy my stuff than theirs. It's also probably a free Revolt enabler, right? Sure. Automaton, not really what I'm after right now. Like, playing that, they could copy it and pump it. That's not what we're looking for. We're looking for a Serpent. I'll leave up enough mana to actually cast it if we hit. We didn't, and again, I don't think holding cards against somebody that could be playing discard's a big deal. I don't think I have great attack, so we'll just keep passing and scrying until we get to the Serpent. That may have been a check for them to try to get rid of our Gifted Aetherborn or something like that, but they figured out making a 2/3 is slightly better than making a 2/2. They could also be setting me up to get used to blocking in case they draw another Lifecraft Cavalry, but I'm going to block it. Like the +3/+3 they'd probably use on this guy, but I feel like my life linkers are more value. I don't know. It's questionable. Hey, look, a Gear Seeker Serpent. That's what I'm going to kill you with. So cruel. Much finality. They recognized a bit too late that that was the card that mattered on this board state. Because it is going to kill you. It's going to take a little bit, but it'll get the job done. It was Cruel Finality they had, so they were kind of looking to get us with that when we blocked. Rawr. That means we can block and gain life now if they start making artifacts. They can make something big here. But with nothing having trample, I don't think it's really that big a deal. It's basically, can you kill me before this kills you? And currently the answer is no. All right, you got one turn. All right, here we go. So that's a good block. That's a good block. That's a good block. I mean, if I'm going to block with that, I should just block here. Them gaining 7 would be a problem, but I kind of want them, if they have a Rush of Vitality, to use it on something else. Like, I kind of don't mind taking 7. This leaves me with enough stuff left over. We're taking 6, 7. So they've got to find 8 damage. We're taking 8. So they've got to find 8 damage out of somewhere, and I don't think that that exists. Even if they have Lifecrafter's Boon, they get what? A counter here. All right, so we're taking 6, 7, 8. And then that would add 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I'm still at 1. See, I think this is where I want to be. And they've got 1 blocker for next turn, which can't block the Fin Hauler. All right, it was just that I don't have anything. Let's attack. All right, well, in classic Travis fashion, we have got a 2-1. That's what we do here. I appreciate you guys and gals tuning in. Do stop by the stream sometime. It's at twitch.tv/Simulan. You can see me playing Magic. You can see me playing Eternal. And if you're into it, you can see me playing World of Warcraft in the evening. Kelsey and I made a guild and have been having some fun there. So thanks for watching. I'm going to wrap this one up and send it to Alex. It's a little bit later than I normally do my videos. Like I said, I'm recording this on Monday morning, and it will go live on Monday. So thanks for hanging out in pretty close to real time. And we'll see you next week here on SeemsGoodMagic.com.